Tyrantrum, one of the worst rock-type Pokemons in Pokemon Champions. We have Pokemon like Aerodactyl and Tyranitar who are much better rock types. Tyrantrum hits harder than Aerodactyl, but it loses its speed, and it doesn't replace Tyranitar. It does something different. I will show you some ways to use Tyrantrum, and in this video I will show you how you can use it if you want to. First we like to look at Tyrantrum its base stats. It has a decent HP stat, a great attack stat, meaning it is a physical attacker. It has also a great defense stat, but its special defense stat is just mediocre. It's really bad. Its speed stat is also not good because you have 71 base speed. It can be a Trick Room Pokemon, but actually it's a bit too fast for Trick Room, but it's also too slow for Tailwind. It also cannot outspeed many Pokemon if you put everything in speed. Now that we know the stats, we can look at type matchup and weaknesses. It can barely one-hit KO Incineroar with Head Smash as -1. With -1 and all-out attack nature and all-out attack EVs, a Head Smash for Incineroar will just have a 12.5% chance to one-hit KO. Which is actually really bad because you want Incineroar to be gone that turn. Rock and Dragon type has 6 weaknesses, which is a lot, and 5 resistances. But the weaknesses are the most common types in the meta right now. It can outspeed Sneasel with a jogging nature and 25 speed investment, but it has to hold the Choice Scarf item, given that Sneasel is a big threat into Tyrantrum because of the close combats. In return, it can one-hit KO Sneasel with Psychic Fangs and break fails and screens, which is actually a good thing in this meta right now, because of the Saber Eyes. The problem is, it cannot even one-hit KO a Garchomp if they have no bulk. The problem is, it gets Dragon Claw as good stab on the Dragon type moves. So, even if you have all-out attack and a Garchomp with no bulk, Tyrantrum does not even KO a Garchomp. However, if you go for the Choice Scarf set, it should always KO the Charizard Y in the meta, which is really good at the moment. Because of its high defense, it also can give an Earthquake from Garchomp and a Stomping Tantrum, but it just feigns to a Moonblast from Whimsicott because of its mediocre special defense stat, and that is really bad. Overall, this Pokemon can be fast, but you have to go with the Choice Scarf and the Jogging Nature. Because you're Jogging Nature, it is a hard time to pick up KOs that you need. Now we know a few weaknesses. Incineroar, we know Garchomp is maybe a problem, Whimsicott and Fairy types overall, its speed stat is a bit weird. So, what can we do in return? Well, we first have to look at the abilities of Tyrantrum. Strong Jaw. It boosts its biting moves by 50%, and Tyrantrum actually gets a lot, like Thunder Fang, Ice Fang, Fire Fang, Crunch, Poison Fang and Psychic Fangs. This makes it that you can run a lot of moves on Tyrantrum with Strong Jaw. Mostly you will run Ice Fang, Crunch or Psychic Fangs, but the option is there. We also have Rock Head. This protects the Pokemon from recoil damage. This can work with the move Head Smash, which takes 50% recoil, and that is a lot for a recoil move. Overall, I think the better pick is Rock Head, because firing off multiple of those can be game deciding. However, Head Smash has an 80% accuracy. It is a nuke, because it has 150 base power and stab and you don't get recoil, but it is like a gamble. Strong Jaw is also good, but I recommend making a bulkier set if you go for that, so you can get more KOs and more chip damage with the coverage moves that you get. Also, if you like these kinds of videos, consider subscribing so it motivates me to make more and it helps the channel grow. Now we know the stats, the abilities, the matchups and types. Let's look actually at the items and movesets that it can run. Like I mentioned in the ability segment, it gets some good coverage moves with Strong Jaw, but also some other coverage moves, like Close Combat, Earthquake, Prey Rough and Skill Shot. Those are some coverage moves that you can run. Earthquake will actually do a lot, Close Combat is there for coverage, Prey Rough also, but like it's 90 base power and 90% accuracy and no step. And Skill Shot can actually boost your speed stat by 1 stage if it hits, so that's actually a good thing. The best moves to use in my opinion are Head Smash, Psychic Fangs, Rock Slide, Dragon Claw or Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe hits both opponents and drop the attack stat by 1. There are some niche moves that it gets, like Horn Drill. You can do this with Entrainment, Harucha if you want to, but I don't recommend it. Dragon Dance to raise your attack and speed stat, but if you run Dragon Dance you likely run Protect, so you have actually 2 moves that you can use. And that is actually pretty bad because of its ability. It also gets Curse, but that is for Trick Room and the same reason as Dragon Dance, and it gets Rock Tube. I guess that is for speed control and it is single target. Still, it is a niche move. There are 4 items I recommend on the Tyrantrum. The number 1 item that I recommend is the Choice Scarf. You want to outspeed Sneasel, you want to get quick KOs with Head Smash, it is just good to outspeed things. Because if you can just fire off a Head Smash early, it will just be so good in the matchup. The second item that I recommend is the Focus Sash. This is because you can invest then a lot in attack and speed. And you don't care about the special defense stat anymore because you have the sash, so you always give 1 hit. The next item is the Heartstone. The Heartstone allows you to even hit harder with Head Smash, even if you are intimidated. It might be a bit niche, but the Resist Berry, like the Chopper Berry or Rosary Berry, might work to survive at least 1 hit, like Close Combat or Moonblast. Before I move on with the Pokemons to use for this Pokemon, I'm gonna show 3 builds that I crafted to use on your Tyrantrum. Build 1 is the Choice Scarf. Like I said, with Choice Scarf, Jolly Nature and 25 speed EVs, you can 1-hit KO Sneasers if they are not holding the Focus Sash item with Psychic Fangs. And you can just do a lot of damage with Head Smash. The second build that I have is actually a Trick Room one with a Brave Nature and a lot of bulk investment, but it is also with Rock Head and the Heartstone. It has Head Smash, Rock Slide, Breaking Swipe and Protect. This set serves as a Trick Room abuser. With Heartstone, you can KO Incineroar even if they intimidate you. And the last build is the Focus Sash Strong Jaw build with max attack and max speed and element nature. It has Rock Slide, Psychic Fangs, Ice Fang and Protect. This set can break screens and do loads of damage with Ice Fang, which is 98 base power. It can be useful against Garchomp, Dragonite and Sinistcha, where you cannot normally hit hard. Now, I have gone over the builds, but what is the synergy with other Pokemon? Like I said before, this Pokemon has a lot of common weaknesses, and because it's low special defense stat, we need to cover for that. So Pokemons to use. You can run Sand with Tyranitar. Tyranitar gives that Sand support, Tyrantrum is immune to Sand, and it boosts its special defense by 50% because of it, so it makes it more bulkier. You can also run Milotic. This covers for the Intimidate, and it is just good coverage overall. Sinistcha you can set up Trick Room, and it is also immune to fighting. Great for redirection with Close Combat if you need to, with Rage Powder. And this is a bit overall, but you can also do speed controllers such as Pokemon with Icy Wind, Electro Web or Tailwind to make Tyrantrum outspeed certain things. And this is my personal story. I struggle to team mode with Tyrantrum. It is because of the lack of time, but also it is just a really hard Pokemon to use. It has comes variety in sets, which is great, and it sounds actually fun because you can run a lot of things, a lot of unexpected things, but also with the Strong Jaw and Rocket, it can be loads of fun. But to be honest, it did not do the damage I wanted to do in testing. Head Smash being 80% accurate is terrible for consistent damage. And I am testing the Choice Scarf set right now. Let me know if you want me to upload some battles and showcase the Tyrantrum in gameplay. Conclusion, it can be a nuke with Rocket and Head Smash and Choice Scarf to outspeed everything. It's a coverage attacker who can chip down opponents with Strong Jaw, Psychic Fangs plus Ice Fang and the Focus Sash to surprise stack. And it can be a Trick Room abuser, I guess, with Rocket and Head Smash and Rock Slide and the Heartstone. It is slow and it hits hard that way. And I generally had fun with team building with this Pokemon. It is not a good Pokemon though. If you want to be better at the game, I suggest you go play meta Pokemon. If you want to have fun and Tyrantrum is one of your favorite Pokemon, I suggest you play with Tyrantrum. For now, this was the video. If you like this video, consider subscribing for more. And also like the video. And comment down below what Pokemon you want to see next. This was Robstar-Z. That's the playlist on screen right now. And I will see you there. Have a lovely day and have a lovely team building session.